The transfer window has opened all across Europe and in Turkey. Or has it? Serkan thinks the transfer window for Galatasaray won't open for another month. Why does he think that? Let's talk about it on the Galatasaray Show. Welcome back to the Galatasaray Show. Benim adım Brad. Benim arkadaşım Serkan var.
Merhaba, günaydın.
Günaydın, herkes günaydın. All right, Happy New Year to everyone. Mutlu yıllar. And if you're watching and you don't understand English, Serkan.
Türkçe altyazılarımız mevcut. Linke tıklayarak Türkçe altyazıları aktif hale getirebilirsiniz.
Evet. So, the transfer window has opened all across Europe. We're going to talk all about that and what that means for us. But again, Happy New Year. First episode of the new year. Saw that lots of parts of Turkey got lots and lots of snow yesterday. Our friend that does our thumbnails from us lives in Ankara, and he sent me a picture. Lots and lots of snow.
Yep.
Even in Bursa, it's normally pretty warm. Decent amount of snow.
Yep.
I hope there's not so much snow when I'm there in 13 days, Serkan. I don't love snow that much.
No, hopefully not. I want you to enjoy those games.
Inshallah. I have to buy some new boots. If you like this old school shirt that I'm wearing and this shirt back here, you can find things like this. Or if you don't want to be like me and Serkan, not having 5-star stuff, you can go to our wonderful sponsor's website, classicfootballshirts.com. Click on the link in our description. If you do that and you buy something, that helps the show. So if you want to help the show, don't forget to do that. Use our discount code TGS10 to save 10%. You can get classic Galatasaray stuff, all the new 5-star stuff, or if you have some sad, misguided friend that likes some English or German squad, you can buy them something while you try to convert them over to our side. But you can do all that at classicshirts.com. Thank you for considering that. And now to the transfer window. So I messaged Serkan yesterday and I said the transfer window is open. And Serkan, what did you tell me?
I said no. The transfer window opens on February 4th.
And so at first I thought maybe Serkan was still, was it Sarhosh stuff from New Year's Eve. But then I knew what he was talking about. He's talking about what we all get excited about, but then the realization of what our club loves to do sinks over us. Yeah. Even though the window opened today and I see some English clubs already making moves, we will wait.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wait. I have no questions about it.
And then we'll wait.
Your doubts.
Then we'll wait. So, for example, Mesela, I won't be in Istanbul till the 15th, right? It opened today. A normal football fan, like in Spain or England, I've never been to the airport when a big transfers come in, right? I've never been there when like Ugarte came, Osimhen came, Falcao. If you can believe it, there's Falcao people. They were everywhere when Falcao came. I've never got to do that because I've never been there during the transfer window. So if I was a fan of like an English club, I'd be like, oh no, I'm going to miss the new transfer coming in. Not a fan of Galatasaray. There's no way in hell they're going to transfer somebody in before the 15th of January.
That's not going to happen. So don't expect anything from our transfer committee until February 4th.
We'll see. Well, one piece of news does look like Berkan's on his way to Konya. He's supposedly supposed to start training there on Sunday. Now, I've seen nothing official as of today, but the wind seems to be blowing that direction.
Are we going to get a transfer fee for him?
Well,
or
sure, we're not
let him go.
Oh no, we'll get money for him. I don't know what it is, but you're not going to give him away. So we'll get something. Remember, something's better than nothing. That's my motto in life. Something's always better than nothing. So this is part 2. So these are some of the players that you guys asked us about, and ones that were left over from our list we didn't have time to do on the last episode. So let's start off with Manuel Ugarte, a defensive midfielder from Manchester United. Now, this is the player that I believe we have the best chance to get because he's out of favor with his club, not because he's a bad player or he's too old or anything like that. He doesn't fit the style of the club.
Yeah, he's a ball-winning defensive midfielder. Aggressive tackling, intercepting passes, protecting backline. What I mean by the backline is the defensive line are his strongest points. With that being said, you don't expect any assists, goals, or set pieces from this guy. He played for Sporting from 2021 to 2023. That's where he shined the most. Then he transferred to PSG. He played there for almost a year, played 25 games. Then he joined Manchester United in 2024, and he appeared in 42 games and made 1 goal.
Well, again, we've seen lots of players go into systems where they don't shine, where it doesn't fit them and not do well. What I like about him, he's still only 24. He's born April 11th, 2001, and he's taller than some of the other people we're looking at. He's 1.82 meters, 6 feet tall.
Okay.
And then just like some of the bigger names we're looking at, the transfer fee that I see out there is somewhere between $25 and $35 million.
Yep. There's an adage in English. One man's trash is somebody else's treasure, something like
Is
that.
another man's treasure. That is correct.
Yeah. So just because he did not play well for Man United or PSG doesn't mean that he's not gonna shine, right?
Oh, in my 20s, I needed a new couch, and I found somebody in a fancier neighborhood that set their couch on the curb. Guess whose new couch that became? That
Yep.
became my new couch.
Yep. Yeah.
And so we need somebody like this because everyone has probably seen this. Torreira's quote over the weekend, his dream is to go back and play for Boca Juniors. He's not getting any younger, and he's playing tons of minutes. So a guy like Ugarte could come in and take that pressure off of him and the team right away, and be a short term successor in that role, which is something we've struggled at as a team in the past when we've lost big players. It's taken us a season or two to fix those positions.
I watched him playing for Sporting few games, and he's really good. But he couldn't perform well at PSG, and his performance was even lower when he played he's still playing for Manchester United. So I know that he wants to go. He wants to go and play full 90 minutes, regular season at another team, and that could be us.
I know another player that wasn't getting a lot of minutes at PSG that came here and did really good.
Icardi, right?
Yes. So there's proof of concept here. Proof of concept.
Yeah.
All right. So the second one on the list is Raphael Onyedika. That sound right to you?
Yep, Onyedika.
Onyedika. All right. What do you know about him?
So I have some notes. He's been playing for Club Brugge since 2022. 110 appearance and he made 5 goals. He's a versatile defensive midfielder playing for Club Brugge in Belgium. He's strong on the ground. He's strong in the air with good physical attributes and high stamina. But there are 2 things that worry me about this guy. The first one is his professional development. He's almost 25. He's 24 or 25.
24.
And the best club that he played for is Club Brugge. If he was that capable, if he was that good, he would have taken some attention from clubs in Europe, right?
You'd think so.
Is he a hidden gem? I don't know. But I know that he has suffered some injuries that sidelined him for some games this year, 2024, 2025. No, we're in 2025, 2026 football season. Also, it could be due to his poor decision-making process on the pitch. I mean, I can tell that he's really good with his tackles. He's winning those balls in the air. He's good on the ground, but his decision-making process is slow. That kind of worries me. And that's why maybe he did not take any attention from other clubs in Europe. Because that's what they're paying attention.
So if you look at him physically, again, somebody that's a little over 6 feet tall, which you like, a great defensive midfielder, but he can go forward. And maybe what he needs, it might not be that maybe he's just a slow developer, or coming here with someone like Torreira to mentor him could be good. One thing you like about him, he's from Nigeria, so he'd automatically have a connection with Osimhen, just like Ugarte is from Torreira's country. Uruguay, yeah. So we've got somebody that can talk to them to help bring them to us and help them ease them into the team. You remember when Osimhen first come, he lived in the same apartment building where Mertens lived because they had the Napoli connection.
Right.
He ate dinner with them like 5 nights a week. I think that really helps someone his age transition into a city like Istanbul that can be overwhelming for some people.
Right, but there's a difference between Torreira and Onyedika. So we transferred Torreira from Arsenal, right? He played for Fiorentina before he joined Gala. He was on a loan, a season loan with Fiorentina. Onyedika, again, the best club that he played for is Club Brugge.
Oh, I was going to tell a joke when you said there was a difference, and I was going to say, yeah, about 6 inches.
What you said?
Because he's tall. Torreira is not tall. If Torreira was 4 inches or 5 inches taller, he would have never got to Galatasaray.
Maybe not. But Torreira proved himself once, right? This guy, again, Club Brugge is the best club that he played for. That worries me.
Yeah, but when you're where we are in the pecking order, right? We're not going to always be able to transfer proven stars. For every Osimhen in a card you got to get you someone like this. And it's just a gamble. It's a gamble. He probably won't come in and start right away, but can he play in the Turkish Cup games? Yeah. Can he play against the lower Turkish division teams? Yes.
Are we talking about Onyedika?
Yeah.
No, after spending 30 million euros, you don't want to bench him.
Whose spot is he taking?
I don't know.
Remember, the whole deal with this transfer window was to find players to make our bench strong. So when your 33-year-old Lamina, your 33-year-old Torreira get gassed, you bring in the 22-year-olds, the 23-year-olds, and the quality barely drops off while they're getting the experience they need to play at the level where we want to play.
Lamina and Onyedika can rotate.
Right.
That's the only solution that I can come up with.
And so if you look around, big teams like us, they've got expensive players sitting on the bench. They do, because you have to.
Yeah, but not after spending 30 million euros. You don't want to do that.
I know you.
This guy comes here to play.
But remember that Ocon's talking about playing Lamina in the back.
Yeah, is he gonna accept the fact that he'll be on the bench though? Because transferring Onyedika or Ugarte means that Lemina is going to be on the bench for the rest of the season. And he'll only come in when we need him. Like if Abdulkarim is injured or suspended, or if Davinson is out, then Lemina can join.
Well, he'll have to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody can't be a captain. Did you see what's going on? A little side note here with the Gabon national team.
They suspended the whole team or something like that.
They fired the entire coaching staff, suspended the entire team, and they banned their top two players, their striker and one of their defenders, from the national team for life. For life.
Sounds like your prison time. Why is that?
Because they didn't get a point. They performed terribly.
What?
Look, man, no offense to Gabon. I've never been there. I assume it's a wonderful place. Lamine is a cool dude. But if you're in Gabon, what do you have going for you, right? You don't have Hollywood. You don't have Bollywood. You got football. And so when you go off the African Cup of Nations, right, and you get no points, I'm sure in Gabon they're going to see a Nigerian that's going to talk shit to them. And so,
how many times have you seen Gabon playing in the World Cup?
0.
0. Okay. So what is the expectation from those players?
Well, apparently not high enough. But that's the coach's fault.
It's not like they've been joining the World Cup like every single year and they're missing this opportunity. I haven't seen Gabon playing in the World Cup. Maybe they play, but I don't remember.
I don't know. I just read that this morning.
It's funny.
And I was like, oh no.
It's just the sports, man.
I think Lamine is going to be happy to be back at Galatasaray.
Well, as fans, I'm happy to see him back on the pitch. At least he did not get any injuries.
That is correct. And Senegal and Nigeria play, I think, Monday in the first knockout stage. I'm not saying I'm rooting against them, but it'd be great to have Jakobs and Osimhen back in Istanbul.
You know
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All right, so let's go to another expensive transfer. Éderson from Atalanta.
I don't know much about him.
Well, let's see here. I'll tell you what I know. You're the one that told me we're going to transfer him. So he's He's a central defensive midfielder, right? He's 26. He's the oldest one of all these players we're looking at in this round. He's 1.83 meters, right around 6 foot tall. And then they're also looking at him. He's around 35 to 45 million. My notes, he's a dynamic box-to-box defensive midfielder with a strong work rate, excellent in transitions, pressing, and physical duels, contributes to goals and forward runs. He's more of an all-around midfielder than Ugarte. Starter for Atalanta, played for the Brazil national team. But again, he'd be an instant dynamic impact, but he's a true first level player.
Atalanta plays in the Champions League, right?
Yeah, he'll need to come in and start.
Atalanta plays in the Champions League, right?
Correct.
So they're not going to let him go until they play those 2 next matches.
That's
so
correct.
They're going to play those 2 final games. Then they're going to decide whether they want to let him go or keep him in the club.
Mm-hmm. But again, if you want to be a Champions League level club, you've got to have people you spent $30 million on sitting on the bench because they're next in line. So, yeah. For example, I used to work in retail, right? I couldn't do it for every assistant manager, but if I found a really good person who I thought could be a store manager in 3 to 6 months, right? You might pay one rate for a assistant manager who's going to have to grow and develop. But if I knew this person already had the experience, I just don't have a spot for them. The company allowed me to overpay for them to sit as an assistant manager. And then they also could go run other stores when I needed them to. And when, in the football example, this midfielder could go play other positions when you need them to until that starter, i.e. Torreira, is off to Boca Juniors. Then you've got his replacement and you don't skip a beat. Again, that's where we've had problems in the past. We let Schneider go. We had no one to replace Schneider. And we're doing great in the Champions League. We fall off a cliff.
Yep.
And so you need those players already on your bench. So this offseason, if Torreira says, deuces, I'm off to Boca, you're not overpaying, right? Right now we have a Torreira. We would pay less to get him now because we don't necessarily need him. If a team knows next summer that Torreira's gone, we'll pay at least 5 million more euros for him, I think.
Definitely. Yep.
So I think you need to get these players now, because you get them now, and let's say, inshallah, we move on to the Champions League and we win a couple games, then players start wanting to come.
Yep. But again, Atalanta is not going to let him go.
Well, not right now, but
before
eventually.
January 25th. Right. That's what I'm saying. Our transfer window opens on February 4th because we're going to look for a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll end up paying 2 times of what he is worth.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So those are our expensive players. Now, we talked in the first episode about our foreigner rule and how young players, and especially Turkish players, they don't apply to that. And so we have 2 here. One is Umut Tohumcu. He is a central midfielder.
Yes, and you said he is linked to a Division 2 team in Germany?
He is Holstein. Holstein something.
Okay.
Let's see here. I have it. Holstein Kiel, a Division 2 German club. It's a tweet from one of the bigger German reporters, but just like our Turkish reporters tweet out stuff that doesn't ever happen, right? How much salt do we put into this?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because nothing's been signed yet. And so right now he plays at 1899 Hoffenheim. That's how you say it, Hoffenheim. Midfielder, he's 21, August 11th, 2004. He's 1.57 meters, 5'9", and his transfer, you see it, some say 5, some say 9 to 11, so somewhere between 5 and 11. Now, Hoffenheim really value him. So I think the chance of straight up transfer him are lower than getting him on a loan.
Then how come he is linked to a Division 2 team in Germany?
They're going to loan him.
Okay, so he's not going to go on a permanent deal.
Correct.
Okay. Makes sense.
And so I would like him. Good looking player.
He will be a great impact sub. Yeah.
Really good passer. Very, very technical for his age. So again, somebody we could develop, and those are the players. You look at him versus Berkan. Who are you going to take?
I'll take the younger kid.
Right. But again, when we signed Berkan, we thought Berkan was going to turn into something that he didn't. That's back to what I'm saying. That's the gamble that you make. When you sign these young kids, you don't know. You don't know. Are they going to get a good?
We don't get to lose much. We only paid like 4 million for Berkan, and he's been playing for us for almost 5 years, right?
Yeah. So what we lost was time, right? If he had actually turned out to be something, he'd be helping the team now. We could sell him and make a lot of money. So that's what we lost. We lost time.
Opportunity cost. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
say.
And so the next one now, I really like this guy, John Armando. Is it Gunner?
This guy has a sexy name,
Yeah, Armando.
Armando.
Armando. He has nice hair too, as you see here. So he's from Borussia Mönchengladbach, the U19 version. He's a winger, right winger, but he can play the left. He's born January 7th, 2008. Fun fact, I was born on January the 8th, so we're one day apart, but many years. Uh, he's 1.78 meters tall, 5'10", and the transfer valuation you see is somewhere between 2.4 and 4.4. Kind of hard to nail it down because he's so young. And he's left-footed. Fun fact, left-footed player.
He's gonna turn 18, right? He's 17 right now.
Yeah, in less than 2 weeks.
Okay. Are we gonna pay him anything? I mean, are we gonna pay anything to his club, or is he coming on a free agent?
Well, there's a fee attached to him that I see out there. It's very low, but it's a very low risk, high upside.
Okay.
If he was an abandoned house, you would buy him. What he is, he's an abandoned house in a nice neighborhood.
There's nothing to worry about his transfer because, again, we're not going to be paying him like 10, 50 million euros. We'll only pay him a few million. And then his salary is going to be less than 500,000 euros a year, probably.
And what you like about him is he can plug different holes. So he can play in Barsh's spot. He can play as a second striker.
Yep.
So he can. We need more players like Shalai. A team like us, so he's more Shalai-ish than was it? I think I invented a new verb there. Shalai-ish.
Shall I?
Shalai-ish. Shalila. So I like both these kids. And the other thing about it, I know this is a Galatasaray show, but we're Turks as well. These kids are eligible to play for Germany, Turkey, and Armando can play for Argentina because of his grandmother. I believe it's his grandmother. So he can play for 3 countries. He's not committed to any of them. So you bring him to Galatasaray, they see how wonderful Istanbul is, how pretty the Turkish girls are, how good the food is. Well, guess where they might wind up playing for their national team? Wouldn't that be nice to pair him up with the Kenans and the Ardas and everybody else?
That will be awesome.
That would be awesome. So we have all ulterior motives here.
Mm-hmm.
So if we didn't get to someone that you asked about, that's because they're mainly what we see as internet rumors, something that's not really going to happen or even could happen. Whereas the players we talked about, we think they feel the need that we have and they are attainable.
Yep.
They're not pie in the sky, as they say. Do you have that idiom in Turkish, pie in the sky?
Not that I know of, no.
I'm not sure what it means. I don't know why'd you want a pie up in the sky if you could just have one. You could go buy at the store or make one yourself, but it's been around for a long time. So that's our transfer specials. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have anybody else you'd like to have us cover, maybe we can do a short or something. Throw them in the comments. If not, the next action that we have is January the 5th. Galatasaray Trabzonspor in the Super Kupa.
Mm-hmm.
The news came out last night that Galatasaray and Trabzon and Fenerbahce's desire to move the cup games, it was not accepted.
Yeah, that did not, yeah.
They said, we don't have time to hear you whine. And as we're talking about transfers, everybody's healthy now. Everybody's healthy. Khan's back healthy. Singo is going to start easing back in. Uğurcan's healthy. Lamine is going to be in Istanbul in 2 days. All we have left is Jakobs and Osimhen. Stay healthy.
Yep.
Stay healthy.
Especially Osimhen. We'll need him.
Don't go to the finals. You don't want to go to the finals.
Yeah.
Go out in the knockout round. Come back to Istanbul. The food's better. Who's hosting the African Cup?
I have no idea.
I don't either. But the food can't be better than what we have in Istanbul, can it?
No, it's not gonna get any better than that.
You know what they don't have, I don't think, in any African countries? Cocoa-rich. And when it's cold outside, what do you want? Some cocoa-rich and some iskivich chorba. That's what you want. All right. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. If you like everything we're doing, consider subscribing. Tell your friends, and hadi, imbuk, jimbom.